The Philadelphia Eagles are Super Bowl champions. Eagles fans everywhere, this is for you.
And Phil.
What's up, guys? Dutchy talking in here. As always, God bless. Go Birds.
Let the celebration begin.
You are now listening to the 302 Birds Eagles postgame show with Jack and Dalt. Proudly powered by TickPick, the official fan experience partner of the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, let's take it to the show.
From broad to bourbon, from heartbreak to history, the Philadelphia Eagles have conquered the Red Kingdom. Philadelphia, stand up! The Lombardi Trophy, our second Lombardi Trophy, is coming home. The fight is finished. Jack Jordan, Super Bowl 59 champion. That has a ring to it. How you feeling?
I'm still in shock. It was just a great belt-to-ass victory for the Eagles. This team, it's a great win for Mekhi Becton, seeing how emotional he was, after they won the game. Saquon Barkley finally got his Lombardi Trophy. Jalen Hurts finally got his Lombardi Trophy. Nick Sirianni finally got his Lombardi Trophy. We were so close 2 years ago, yet so far. And to bring it back 2 years later, belt-to-ass victory for the fucking Eagles is just amazing. Like, I cried last night for sure. It was definitely emotional for me. But yeah, that's all I got to say, Dalton.
It was insane last night, bro. And part of me wanted to be with my buddy Jack, my buddy Zet, my buddy Brandon, the guys who I've grown up watching the Eagles with, right? I mean, they're my brothers. But my brothers also knew part of what I love doing is being downtown and interviewing people. And oh my God, last night was insane. It was a party to say the least. Let's take it live to Broad Street last night at around 11 o'clock, couple drinks deep. Eagles are world champions. As you guys can see, it's pandemonium on Broad Street right now. What a moment. Losing Super Bowl 57 to Patrick Mahomes, and 59 is ours. You can never take that away from us. Jalen Hurts has now won a Super Bowl. In your mind, is Jalen Hurts better than Nick Foles in Eagles history?
Yeah.
I would probably agree at this point.
I don't know. Jalen Hurts did a great job, but Nick Foles took us home last time, so I don't know what to say.
Tom Brady lost to a backup fucking quarterback! Nick Foles forever!
I love Nick Foles, but Jalen fucking Hurts, that's my quarterback.
He has to be. Did you see him tonight? Yeah. That man is a fucking legend.
Yeah.
Are you serious? 40 and 14? Are you fucking serious?
Exactly.
Fucking GOAT.
Of all time.
Of course, yes. He's got to be.
Best of all time.
How
I love Nick Foles.
Hey, I'm glad you said that. How are you ladies feeling? World champions, fresh off the field.
Fuck yeah! Go Birds! I'm feeling amazing! We're feeling fucking insane right now, Bird.
This is the best day of my life!
Did you guys expect it to be this much of like a can of whoop ass or?
Can of whoop ass?
It was a can of whoop ass.
Let's go! Birds by 100! Go Birds, dickhead!
Yo, did you expect this upset? Did you expect it?
All fucking days, you stupid as you dumb! Birds by 100! Let's go!
But did you guys expect it to be this much of an upset?
Yes! Our team has done so good this season. I knew this would happen. And that's why I put green face in my purse.
Let's go.
Do you see us right now?
You guys are the most dedicated people out here, and there's a lot of people out here. I'm not going to lie. Let's go, Birds.
I'm coming all the way from Germany. I'm here right now.
Germany?
Yes.
beat these fans. E-A-G-L-E-S! Eagles! Let's go, bro! We world champs! We world champs, y'all! Y'all enjoy your night. Let's go! Let's go!
And that was exactly how it felt. I mean, my favorite part was faintly in the video. You guys just hear like everywhere. I'm like thinking, oh, cool. I'm going to have my whistle out there. Like, I'm going to be like this hype man. Everybody's going to love me. Everybody had a whistle, dude. It was awesome. Everybody was blowing the whistle. Everybody was up and down Broad Street. There were still some people that climbed poles, and that was interesting. So as soon as Alyssa and I came out of our hotel to the right, the first thing we saw was a Philadelphia police truck. And there's like 30 kids on top of it. Like, well, not 30, 15 kids probably on top of it. Sorry, dyslexia and numbers all blend together. I'm like half right. Point is, there's a shit ton of kids on top of this police car. And like this thing's rocking. And Alyssa and I are like, oh, we're going to do it like that tonight. And the police car like couldn't really move because obviously there's all these people on it. So what they did is they let all these kids have their moment, enjoy it. And then as soon as they came down, arrested. Same thing with the pole. As soon as you came down, arrested. You could do your thing, but as soon as you came down, they were not messing around with that. I thought it was appropriate, though. Nobody really got hurt. Everybody was okay. It was safe, calculated fun. That's the only way I can describe last night. Safe, calculated chaos. And real quick, before we continue this segment, I just want to go to the Estes family, too, to see how they were feeling.
Happy Victory Monday, 302
Go Birds.
That was one of the best games. Actually, I think that was
the
best game. At least
Cooper to Gene.
Happy birthday,
all I could say. Cooper to Gene.
Birds are Super Bowl 59 champions, and I cannot wait to break it all down even more so on Wednesday night. Go Birds, everybody.
Go Birds.
It was insane last night, man. I mean, how was your perspective with Zet?
It was awesome. We had I had my girlfriend over. We had Josh's girlfriend over. We had Casey Baker was over. We had Brandon Hollenball and then Josh's work buddy. And it was just, we celebrated with a champagne, poured some champagne, popped the bottles, went outside. We took a reaction video and we almost got the cops called on me. Not really, but I screamed "Go Birds" top of my lungs outside in the neighborhood. So I pretty much woke up everyone in Northeast Maryland. But yeah, no, it was just incredible. It was an incredible win, incredible victory. I did call a lot of people. I called Shardy at like 1 a.m. just to celebrate with him. He was not too happy about that, as you can see in the comment. Right here.
He does that, Shard, especially when he's drinking. Just know, Shard, if you are called at 1 a.m., that means he loves you. So take it as a compliment.
Yeah, no, it was a great time that we had here. And yeah, it was such. I wish it was on Broad Street, but at the same time, I don't, because it just seems like pandemonium, as we saw in that video. But other than that, it was awesome to celebrate, together.
Yeah, it was a moment. Whether you were at home, whether you were on Broad, or wherever, you had on Midnight Green or Kelly Green. You were in the Midnight Green or Kelly Green Mafia. I was saying it all week. And it just wasn't a win, Jack. It was a senseless beatdown, which is personally why, in my opinion, we'll kick off the show with this. Let us know in the comments. I'm really interested to hear what you guys have got to say. If you're on Twitter, quote tweet this right now, because this is the question of the day. Has Jalen Hurts surpassed Nick Foles for the greatest QB in Philadelphia Eagles history? What do you think, Jack?
And Shardy, it was 12:25 a.m. It wasn't 1 o'clock, so that was I just looked at my calls. No, I don't think, I think Jalen Hurts is starting his own run, his own reign, because you can't really take our first ever Super Bowl away from us, and that's what Nick Foles brought to us. Granted, play-wise overall, I think Jalen Hurts is a better player, but just for history's sake, I think Nick Foles is a a little better than Jalen Hurts, just because he gave us our first Super Bowl Lombardi Trophy. So I think, and again, we've had Jalen Hurts on this team for the past 4 years, and we had Nick Foles for a short stint when we drafted him, and then he went to a different team, then came back to us, and he was a backup who beat the king, Tom Brady himself. So I think it's definitely tough because it's hard to take away our first Super Bowl victory away from our fan base and from the team, because that's just something special. That just solidifies us in the record books in history for, be on that trophy. But yeah, I think overall, I think Jalen Hurts is definitely a better quarterback. But I think as of right now, we're pretty equal. I think
I get
Jalen Hurts win another Lombardi Trophy, then we can say that he is the better quarterback, better player. But that's all I got to say.
that makes sense. I think the big thing too is you're right. They both have one, and Jalen is just getting started. Though the stat I did hear the other day too that I really found interesting was Jalen Hurts is the only Eagles QB to ever start multiple Super Bowls. So the Eagles have never had one QB to start in multiple Super Bowls ever. And he's now achieved that. He's 1-1. And we know, like that kid said, the kid in his interview, I mean, he was freaking electric. I loved him. He said it took them twice to beat the Avengers. Sometimes it takes you twice. And golly, he was right. Patrick Mahomes, that was the best part of the game for me, was not having to be on the edge of my seat the whole time and really just being able to enjoy every single moment with my loved ones. My sister got to watch with me, her boyfriend, Teddy, who we call an honorary Eagles fan. He's a Giants fan, but he even was just happy for Barkley and happy for the moment, happy for the city of Philadelphia because he's a St. Joe's Hawk, and just being there and seeing his girlfriend and his, potential future brother-in-law get up and down and that excited. I don't know if Teddy's ever seen me jump up like a little girl like that. I don't know if Alyssa's ever seen me so excited like that. And I wasn't the only one. I talked about it today with Mac. There's no trouble today. There's no pain. You can put me in 45 minutes of traffic and I'm not going to care, because at the end of the day, the Eagles just won the Super Bowl. I'm just so full, so grateful today, wholesome, whatever word you want to use. But I was on my way home and there was a ton of traffic. It was taking me a little bit, but I usually get annoyed by that. I can't stand it. And I was just cruising, listening to music. It was like my playlist. Every song on my playlist, Jack, was gold today. It might have been the moment, but every single song was a bop. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, let's celebrate, like that was my vibe. And when you get that feeling, it's a good feeling, and it's very hard to make it go away. And the last thing I'll say is I was talking to KJ on the phone, and he's like, yeah, I just waited in line 40 minutes for a sandwich because he's at work today. He's going to try to call in if he can, so stay tuned, guys. But he's like, I just waited 40 minutes in line for a sandwich, and I'm like smiling. Like, that's the mood today.
Oh, and actually something in history happened just now, or the past 24 hours. Dalton James Holland did not leave early. He actually stayed the whole night and celebrated in the streets.
In all fairness, I was in a hotel and I didn't stay the whole night until they kicked people out. Alyssa and I went from, I would say, we wanted to watch the trophy. That was our biggest thing. We wanted to watch the trophy get raised. And when we got to see Jalen Hurts and the whole team smile, Jeffrey Lurie, everybody, that we all love and have watched, then we were like, okay, it's time to go. And we were kind of late. I think some people actually went down there, like shout out to Club 215 and their whole crew. They were down there, I think, with like 2 minutes left in the game. I saw on Instagram. They're popping champagne bottles in the middle of Broad, right outside City Hall, getting hype. And that just shows this fan base. You have all the coverage in the world. That's what I love about this fan base, too. One of the things I was thinking about on the way home is this is an economy, bro. This really is an economy where you have so many things going on in this city that, like, Carolina Panthers fans don't have this. You don't have all these people that can sit at the table and contribute and eat. Like, usually it's one person in one city. And I love it. I love it. It's amazing. But I would say, in my opinion as well, I'm taking Jalen Hurts over Nick Foles just really quick, just to recap why, and then we'll move on to our next topic. I think the point that he started in multiple Super Bowls as an Eagles QB does it for me. No Eagles QB can say, other than him, that they've started in multiple Super Bowls. Not Nick Foles, not Jaws from the 80s, not Carson Wentz, who lost last night. Jalen Hurts is the only one that is able to say, not McNabb. And that's just really refreshing to hear and say. And last night was a well-deserved MVP. Shout out to all the sports bettors out there that took this, because this was a snipe if you took it, especially if you took this one in the beginning of the season. This may be the bet to take in the beginning of the season, because all season long they're going to game plan for Barkley. And then Jalen Hurts airs it out. He has a phenomenal game. I did say to Jack that I was happy that he got that dumbass pick out of the way early, but he still had a passer rating of 119.7. As soon as he got that interception out of the way, which Nick Bolton just came through the middle and really rushed him, got the jitters out. Then he was 77% on the night, 221, 2 tutties, 1 pick, and a 119 passer rating. Come on, man. That's insane in the Super Bowl. That's a Super Bowl MVP. There's no arguing that. There's no offseason of this, that bullshit. It is clear cut. Jalen Hurts is the guy. He should be the MVP, and he's the guy who can lead this team back to a Super Bowl if anybody can do it. So I was thrilled for him. Proud of him.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely deserved being Super Bowl MVP, because if we think about it, they really, really shut us down in the run game. They shut down Saquon Barkley. He still had, 60-some yards, but I wasn't expecting that. And they were kind of forcibly over-exaggerating on the run stop, which it was working, but they didn't really, put in their game plan that Jalen Hurts is just throwing dimes out there. I mean, that reception that A.J. Brown in the first quarter, when they called it OPI, which was bullshit, that was a dot. And same with the touchdown to Devontae Smith. That was a dot. I mean, this was probably, I will say, overall, this playoff run, I think this was Jalen Hurts' best game. And he didn't shy away from throwing the ball after he threw that pick. He kind of locked in. So he definitely is deserving of it. And just like all of the BS he's gone through throughout his career, transferring from Alabama to Oklahoma, getting sat in the playoff in one of the championship games. Like, he just has that mentality of that dog mentality, hungry dog runs faster. And he definitely embodied that last night. And it was just so happy. I was so happy for him to see him kind of get on top of the mountain and raise that Super Bowl trophy. But yeah, he definitely is well deserving of it. And I'm so glad that, all these doubters, I really do think he has proved all these doubters wrong, whether it be the guys on TV, the Philadelphia fan base were not a big fan of Jalen Hurts, saying we need to move on from him. And he's had time in and time again all this doubtful and hatred, not hatred, but just doubtfulness throughout his whole career in Philadelphia. And to see him win Super Bowl and then Super Bowl MVP, it just really shows you that this motherfucker is a bad motherfucker. He's a badass.
He's the guy to lead the team too. He's our dude. The dude said it in the interview. The longer take, I don't know if I put the full take in there, but he said, I love Nick Foles, but Jalen fucking Hurts is my QB. Like, that's the perfect way to sum it up. Jalen Hurts is the Philadelphia Eagles QB. He's the guy who's went through all the adversity. He's the guy who's went through all the change. He's the guy who's went through the ups, the downs, and is perfect for this city. Water Boys, thank you guys for joining, and thank you for the congratulations, man, in the DM. Thank you. I really appreciate you on that. I haven't gotten to respond. Like, I literally have, I'm not exaggerating, probably 120 DMs, and it's awesome. Like, if you're watching on Instagram right now, Caveman Causeway, my Boston Celtics fan, not a Celtics fan anymore. I'm just 4-for-4 Philly, but I was when I was a kid. So I resonate with you in the Kelly Green, bro. I love that you said we protected Brady's chips, because whatever, if it goes along for the Eagles winning the chip, fuck it. I'm down for it. You know what I mean? Like, you're on my team for this time, I'm with it. But seriously, that's the cool thing, is this dude, Caveman Causeway, is an awesome Celtics fan. What he's doing is awesome. The way he like dresses for these games, he's dressed to the nines, bro. He comes prepared, and he's a legit super fan, I would say. And it's really cool that just other super fans respect other fans and message them like when they're in their moment. I think I might have messaged him. I don't know if I did. If I didn't, I apologize. But congratulations to you guys too in your moment. Like going through that championship, knowing what that feels like. I've gotten texts from Commanders fans. Cowboys Chris, bro. Cowboys freaking Chris texted me. Literally one of the first people. Hey, congratulations on you guys and your victory. Jalen Hurts and his MVP. But not just Jalen Hurts. I got to really give a lot of love to the defense as a whole. If I could give MVP to anybody, I'm giving it to Vic Fangio. Jalen Carter, Milton Williams, Jordan Davis. I mean, these guys came to fucking play. Zach Vaughn had a pick. I'm pretty sure Havens might have called that, or you called that. Somebody called that in some sort of pregame show I was in. They said, mark my words, Zach Vaughn's going to have a pick, and he did. So there's just so many things. The Cooper DeJean pick six we'll talk about in a second. Yeah. That was insane, but defense came to play.
Yeah, dude. It kind of hit me. I got like chills. I was watching Good Morning Football today, and they had like the panel on, and one of the guys, I think it was Schrager or whatever. He kind of like he said he closed down the Superdome last night, and as he was walking, like in like the kind of back part of the stadium, he sees a dude wearing a normal Eagles hat and an Eagles shirt. Didn't know who it was. Walked up to it. It was Vic Fangio walking to the team bus by himself, and he's like, "Dude, you just won the fucking Super Bowl. Your defense played great." And he was not like he was just in shock because he said to him, "I have been a coach in the NFL for 38 years. This was my first ever Super Bowl." So us Eagles fans, that has to give you chills that Vic Fangio has been around for so long, and then 38 years, different teams, and Fangio getting his first Super Bowl just goes to show how hard these coaches really put their all out on the table, and just not every coach wins a Super Bowl. So the fact that 38 years he's been dry, and then to win that Super Bowl like we did, belt to ass, the defense only put up 24 points. The Chiefs only put up 24 points, and that defense, like Dalton said, lockdown defense. And Havens, I'll give credit to you. I see you in the background. You said Havens' keys to success was back when.
Let's go.
Back when the Chiefs lost the Buccaneers back in 2020, they sacked him multiple times. They sacked Pat Mahomes, I think, 3 times. He threw like 3 picks or whatever. And the fact that Pat Mahomes was sacked 6 times and threw 2 picks, 1 pick 6, that just is a great call out, and more power to you, Joey.
Havens, how you feeling?
We did it. Yeah, thanks, Jack. Like, dude, crazy. I mean, I did not expect that at all. Like, speechless, because I knew we were gonna get pressure. Obviously, I thought it was gonna be a good game. Like, as far as like back and forth, I didn't think they completely came out and just blew him away. He didn't know what was going on until the fourth quarter, basically.
It was insane. Like, his game plan was nuts. Vic Fangio was dialed in. So, Joe, while we got you on here, I want to ask you a question, because we got to get to our call-ins here in a second. But while we got you here, so off-season, we got a long one ahead of us. Where the hell does this team go from here? And what are your keys to success for what's next for the Philadelphia Eagles? Tough question off the bat. I'm not going to lie.
So the first things first is Zach Vaughn. You got to re-sign Zach Vaughn. He's coming off an all-pro season, so you had a pick last night. You just got to re-sign him. I don't know, you want to do like a 3 or 4 year contract, not like nothing too long, but something nice. He's gonna get a lot of money. He deserves it, but you definitely got to re-sign him. I think Slay contract up, I'm not sure. He said something about he wants to stay here and finish his career here. I mean, he did all right this year. You got Isaiah Rodgers, possibly just one more year of Slay, kind of like Brandon Graham did this year. Hopefully just doesn't get injured or anything like that. But I think they're so young that it's like they could just do it again. They could really do what the Chiefs just did the past 2 years. They could really just they got the key. They've the keys. As long as they stay healthy, they could do this again next year, and we could be doing this again. And I hope we are, and I think we will be.
Yeah, I mean, there is a lot of pending free agents that we have in this offseason because I know, like Slay said, he wants to do one more year, and that's his last season in the NFL. But you got Milton Williams, you got to re-sign. You got Zach Bond, obviously. I mean, we probably should have re-signed him before the playoff run because now his price tag's going to go up for sure. And then you have Mekhi Becton. He played very well. He played phenomenal this season. So you got to think about what you want to do with him. You have Isaiah Rodgers. We've got to figure out what we do with him. But, I mean, the core group is still there. It's just a matter of who we really want to look out for in this draft and, is it worth signing these players? So we'll see. I'm guaranteeing you we're going to see, which is going to be really sad, Brandon Graham retire in the offseason. That's going to be emotional for us because he's spent his whole career in Philadelphia. So that's going to be a tough pill to swallow, just as it was with Fletcher Cox and Jason Kelce. So there's a lot of moving parts that we got to think about and make sure we make the right moves because we made some really key free agency signings this offseason. And I thought we extended Sweat's contract, but apparently he's pending free agency. So we got to resign him, or what are we going to do with Myles Garrett, or what are we going to do with what's his face, the Condor, on the Raiders.
Oh, Max Crosby.
Yeah, what are you going to do with him? So, I mean, we'll see what happens, but there's a lot of.
Did you see Parsons wants to trade too? Future Eagle Micah Parsons.
That'd be crazy getting him and Saquon back on the same team,
right?
Do you guys think that they're going to bring in some big kind of edge rusher? Like I could see that's the last piece. They kind of have to, right?
Yeah, they have to at this point.
So.
Because Brandon Graham's going, and it was just picturesque. Like gives me remnants of our first Super Bowl when we see Milton Williams get that strip sack, just like Brandon Graham did against the Patriots. That was insane.
Shardy don't want him. Shardy said, "Fuck no" in the comments.
Yeah,
he said,
"Yeah,
fuck no." All right, well, Joey, one more question for you on the way out, man. What would you like the Eagles to do in the draft? I know it's kind of a bird's eye question at this point, but I mean, are you just kind of waiting to see how free agency settles? And if they don't get an edge, you really want to see them bring in an edge? Or where do you think that this team could use some help?
Yeah, I would definitely, if they don't bring in some edge help, they definitely need at least like help on the edge, the defensive line, linebacker too. I know they're a little young there, bring a couple other people if they don't get Bond back as well. So that's really big there. Just defense is going to be big. Offensively, yeah, like the core, they're not going anywhere. Possibly like a right tackle. I don't know if anybody else has seen this, but Lane Johnson, he said, yeah, I'll play at least one more year. So you know how that goes, if they do, say repeat next year and Lane Johnson's going to be like, all right, I'm going to go out on top. Then who's going to replace him? So definitely look for somebody like that. He could possibly do what like Jason Kelce did with like Cam Jurgens, and we see how that worked out. So maybe they'll be looking to do that as well.
Yeah, I'm expecting a lot out of this team. Well, hey, Joey, I appreciate you for joining us. I appreciate you covering your keys to success all season, and we'll see you soon, brother.
Yes, sir.
See ya.
Go Birds.
Go Birds.
Love that, man. If you guys don't, give Joey a follow. He's always a collaborator on the keys to success, and he's crushing it. But one more topic before we get to our call-ins here. Coop! That's what everybody was saying. I mean, Alyssa said it last night. I think she hit the nail on the head. She said that was probably the best moment of his life, that pick six. Running that back on your birthday, Super Bowl, rookie year, that's nuts.
Yeah, I mean, that's insane. On your birthday, your rookie season, and to have a key play like that in a big game, I mean, that tells you something. And he said in the postseason or post game that he just every time, he's not playing, he rewatches him getting drafted to the Eagles and how much chills it brings to him. So him seeing not even Cooper DeJean, but seeing like these rookies, Quinyon Mitchell, playing such a great season for us is insane. And Cooper DeJean, we knew it was gonna be something different. I mean, that was one of the greatest memories I think I'll have in the Eagles history was Cooper DeJean just kind of, and that was a great, what's the word I'm looking for? That was a veteran move. The way he read that ball and picked that off, like that, no rookie should be doing that. And how he used, like, kind of a user lurk, that was just a great, I don't know. That was a great play for him. You muted, buddy.
Thank you. Sorry. Yeah, it was insane. He read it like a book, man. And that's what I love about Cooper DeJean. He has this insane, like, hand-eye coordination, reflex, like whatever you want to call it. He could be a wideout with some of the way that his hands and eyes lock in. You've seen that challenge that goes around on TikTok. I know we collaborated with a page a couple days ago that did a post on it where like they're dropping the beams and shit. And like Cooper DeJean's like going like, and he just grabs them all with one hand. Like his hand-eye coordination is insane. Yeah. And he will forever be able to say for the rest of his life, I picked off Patrick Mahomes for a pick six on my birthday in Super Bowl 59 for the city of Philadelphia.
This is also a good point. We got to give credit where credit's due. Jalix Hunt played insane, dude. He had, 2.5 sacks, I think, something like that. And like I said, these rookies we have on defense, why didn't anyone else draft these guys? They made some key plays this whole season. And like you said, Leo, give credit where credit's due. Jalix Hunt played very well last night.
Yeah, much love to Jalix Hunt, his family, and everyone around him. Because if you guys don't remember, I believe he went from defensive back to edge too, which is an insane transition to think about. The fact that your body weight can go from being a guy that can keep up with some of the smallest guys like Devontae Smith in the NFL that can get so nimble in those holes, so quick, so elusive, so athletic, and then be able to be one of the strongest guys in the NFL, a different level of athleticism. That is just an all-around freak athlete. And it was on show last night. The instincts were there. But I want to just get to our call-ins here because we have probably one of my favorites, if not my favorite. Broad! How you feeling, man?
I don't know how to feel. I don't know how to feel. I think I heard you earlier say, nothing, if you sat in traffic, it wouldn't even make you upset, couldn't make you mad. I can't stop smiling today. I texted you this morning too, Dalton. I said, this doesn't feel real. None of this feels real at all. I feel like I'm living in a dream. Like it's starting to hit me now that like we're truly Super Bowl champions. But like I don't know. I don't know how to feel. I'm so used to heartbreak and like being pissed off. I don't know how to feel when we actually do win something. I don't know. I'm so happy. I'm so fired up. This could go down as like the greatest week of my life. We got the Eagles Super Bowl that they just won. We got pitchers and catchers going down Wednesday to Clearwater, and parade Friday. I mean, look, come on. We're getting this is great, man. This is really great.
And you also called it yet again, Broad. You said this is going to be a belt to ass game. Maybe not those words, but I remember you saying this is going to be we're going to kick this shit out of the Chiefs. And I did not believe you at first when you said that, but I was like, damn right. After we scored 21 points or whatever, I was like, okay, well, they haven't scored a single point at all. Yeah, this is definitely a belt to ass game, and you called it. So, congrats to you. Give credit where credit's due.
Oh, I appreciate that, but when I really broke everything down and I watched the way that the Chiefs played all year, and I said, well, this team, the Chiefs haven't scored over 30 points the entire year. Their average points, their average that they scored around, I think, was like 23, and the Eagles defense gave up, like, I think their average was 17 or 18 points, and I was like, well, you know, and the Chiefs don't really have that good of a defense. The Chiefs got worse since 2022. The Eagles got better since 2022. This was a no-brainer for me. And I also said that this was going to come down to the defense. I said the defense was going to win you this football game. And that's exactly what you saw. And I think somebody that's not getting enough praise is my main man, Josh Sweat. That man is a beast. That man has been a game changer and a difference maker the entire season. And, you know, like I said, the Chiefs were going to – the Chiefs were expecting – the Chiefs thought that they were going to be playing against that 2022 defense again, where it was these old, slow guys, Bradbury, all these old geezers back there. This is a new Eagles defense. We have Vic Fangio, who, if things aren't going to go his way, he's going to make the adjustments, and he's going to figure out how he can beat you, right? I knew the defense was going to show up and play. The defense is like the offense played great, right? But the defense is truly the reason why you won that game. I looked at a stat. In the first half, I think it was even through like 2.5, maybe 3 quarters, Jahan Dotson had more yards than the entire Chiefs offense. If that doesn't tell me anything about the defense, I don't know. I don't know what will. Yeah. In the first half, they had 2 rushing yards, and they didn't have a first down the entire first half. Come on. Yeah. I mean, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still in the same boat. I mean, I knew we were a better defense this year around. We have a better defensive coordinator. We didn't have all that bullshit, you know, with the coordinators not like we did last season. And it was just a picture perfect Super Bowl victory. And I just knew all year long. I mean, I knew this team was different, and seeing. Once we signed Saquon Barkley, once Brandon Graham came back to this team, once Jalen Hurts, we saw him walking off the field 2 years ago, and having that kind of fire in his eye, I knew this game was game, set, match from, the first whistle, because you saw a different Jalen Hurts this game that you haven't seen all year long. And he put money where his mouth is, and it's just great to get him a victory. So, Nick Sirianni, I feel like he called a really good game, and I think he's starting to get more credit where credit's due for how good of a coach he is. I mean, dude, he's been our head coach for the past 4 years. We've been to 2 Super Bowls, won 1 Super Bowl. We've been in the playoffs every season. So you gotta start to realize that, maybe Nick Sirianni isn't that bad of a coach. So that's all I got to say.
Well, when I was watching the ceremony last night after we won, and I was watching everything, and obviously I was tearing up. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that is right. Like, I cried too. Like, this is my team, right? Like, this is our Eagles team, and I saw Nick Sirianni last night cry when he got the Lombardi Trophy. He cried, and I was like. And I saw the picture of Mekhi Becton hugging Nick Sirianni, bawling his eyes out. And I was like, Nick Sirianni maybe potentially has to get the most credit out of anybody. Jalen deserves credit. Vic Fangio and Kellen Moore and everybody deserves credit. But I think truly Nick Sirianni deserves the most amount of credit. Let's just go back. Week 5, we were 2-2. He was arguing with fans. He was yelling at fans. Nobody liked him. Everybody thought he was going to get fired. People were calling for his job. When we got smoked down there in Tampa, everybody said he shouldn't catch that flight back. He's done. Everybody thought he was done, right? And the fact that he was able to glue everything back together, get this team locked back in, and then go on this insane run and then win the Super Bowl. Nobody like he deserves the most amount of credit. Anybody in that moment where they're like that, they're getting yelled at. People are calling for their jobs. They shrink. They get scared. Him, he embraced it. He got the team to fight through the adversity. He deserves. And everybody loves that man. The entire locker room loves and plays for that man. And it's like he could have lost his job. And he won us a Super Bowl. So, in my opinion, he deserves the most amount of credit. He fixes idiotic decisions that happened earlier in the year. He got the team locked back in. He helped figure out the offense, I'm sure. And we're Super Bowl champions. So last night, I really like seeing him cry, seeing Mekhi Becton, Saquon Barkley. Right? It was just like. I don't know. He deserves a lot of credit, man.
Yeah, I mean, it really, really goes to show, like you said, how much these players really respect him and how much each and every one of these players means to him. I mean, granted, we saw, when we won the NFC Championship, everyone was doubting Jalen Hurts, and he literally on live television said, "How about our quarterback?" Whether that was a little brash or whatever, but he cares about his players more than anyone else does. I mean, that just goes to show that he's a Philly guy. He is a Philly guy. He is that guy. He is that dude. And I just have I've always have had some type of respect for him. I think since he's been the coach for the Eagles. So it's glad to see him go to that mountaintop and, celebrate with his players and his coaches.
No, it was
just couldn't hang. He couldn't
No,
hang.
he couldn't.
That defensive pass rush was dialed. They don't get it. Like Jalix Hunt, I know you guys said it too in the beginning. He was dialed in. Milton Williams, though, I really want people to start. I know Haven's talked in his keys to success about Bond coming back. I don't know when Milton's up, but I feel like Milton's been here for 3 years now at minimum.
For a while, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
so I'm going to figure out how to get him back because that dude's a gem.
Yeah, he's pending free agency too, so we'll see. That's why we have a lot of moves to make this offseason.
But
what do you think you need to do in the offseason? And then you can say what you're going to say.
What I think the Eagles should do right now in the offseason, I would list it at this. 1, Zach Bond. Without a doubt. That man changed the defense. And definitely changed the linebacker core. And here's the thing. The Eagles are known to consistently let good linebackers leave. For hints, TJ Edwards, Kaiser White, right? They just let him walk, right? You can't let him walk this time. Then in 2, I would say I'm all in favor of going to bring back Mekhi Becton. I think I think that's the route you have to go because although he's been injured a lot this year and he got injured for a drive last night, the man has proven when he's out there and he's healthy, he is great. He's legit. And we need him back. And then I would say, I don't know if I'm in favor of going and bringing back Dallas Goedert. I think he's on the last of my list, to be honest with you. He's just too injured. He's great when he's healthy, but he's just too injury prone. And I feel like we can go snag somebody in the draft or, that could do the same thing. And I think Grant Calcaterra, not trying to put him in the same conversation as Dallas Goedert, but I think that when Dallas Goedert's not out on the field, Grant Calcaterra has done a great job. So, I mean, it's not, and then I would say you got to target Milton Williams as well. Who else is up for free agency?
So it's Milton Williams. It is Josh Sweat, which I thought was random, was weird. It was Isaiah Rodgers. It was Mekhi Becton. Kenny G's up for free agency. Zach Bond, obviously. And then I think there is one other player. But yeah, that's kind of what I – go ahead.
Well, here's what I tell you. I think it'll go Zach Bond, and then it'll go Mekhi Becton. And then I think they're going to bring back Sweat and Milton Williams. But here's what I truly believe and what I think. I think these players love, especially because they just won the Super Bowl. So I think all these players just won a Super Bowl. They love the city. They love the team. They love Nick Sirianni. They love the organization. They will take a major pay cut to stay in Philadelphia. I firmly believe that, especially Bourne, because Vic Fangio and Howie and all these guys, they went out and they took a gamble on Zach Bourne. They went and gambled on him, right? Then you look at Mekhi Becton. They gambled on him too. He sucked with the Jets, or he's with his Jets. He sucked, right? So they took these guys will take pay cuts to stay here. And I'm reading the comments. Do you think we do? I think they're going to go get. They're going to go get Myles Garrett. I think you may see him pull off a Max Crosby. You may see. I think.
Who would you rather have? Who would you rather have? Miles Crosby, or I'm sorry, Myles Garrett, or Matt? That would be an interesting one. Myles Crosby. Hey, now we're cooking with gasoline.
Right.
Put both those guys in one. Shit. But Myles Garrett or Crosby. I mean, if you could pick one of the two.
I think Max Crosby. I think now, like, I don't know. I would take either of them, right? But I do think Max Crosby's younger. And I think Max Crosby's faster. And I don't know. I think he'd be like a Chris Long type of guy. You know what I mean? Like, you know, that's the kind of guy. They kind of look the same. White, tattoos, you know. They're playing with a little bit. They're playing with a little bit of fire. I wouldn't mind either. I'll take either of them. But if I had to go, I think Max Crosby, because he plays with that swagger. He plays with, like, I don't give a flying F. I don't care. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to tear your quarterback's knee to shreds, and I don't care. And and that's what you want. That's what you want in the city of Philadelphia. We don't want these soft guys. You want guys that are just going to go beat the shit out of you.
Yeah, I mean, they want to go. Either one wants to go to a team that is, you know, has that mentality of win now, because they've been in the league for quite some time and they haven't really sniffed more than just one playoff or like a wild card game. So they definitely want to target somewhere where they think they can, you know, win the Super Bowl. So I mean, if you probably saw it too in the media day or whatever, they like interviewed Myles Garrett and he was like. That he said Philadelphia would be a hell of a place. So that could kind of read between the lines. I mean, we could see either one of them. I mean, I think, you know, it's not going to be, we're going to have to kind of put something together like a Howie, like a trade. Like it may mean, do we get rid of Josh Sweat and a pick or whatever to get either one of them? Because that's kind of what you're playing with. So I don't know what, I mean, if let's say this, if we can get either one of them, right? What do you think a good trade would be?
I would say personally, give up that first round pick, because that's going to be 32 now. So you're probably not going to do much damage there.
You're not going to get anybody, really.
Yeah, you're not going to get anybody that's going to be a real difference maker. So if you tell me I can give up 31 for Myles Garrett, here, you want a fucking bag of chips too? Fine, take it. But they're not going to do it for just that pick, right? The world doesn't work that way. So I would probably say a second rounder and maybe somebody like Sidney Brown. I wouldn't mind if they gave up somebody depth-wise on the safeties. I'm not giving up either of the young corners, and Cooper and Quinyon. They're untouchable. Obviously, we know that. But you got to realistically think that the Browns are going to want some kind of capital in return of some guy that's younger that can make a difference on their team. And the Eagles have plenty of them. That's kind of the double-edged sword for the Birds. What do you think, Ryan?
I think like you said, Sidney Brown potentially. Maybe you see. I mean, this is a sleeper, but I would not be surprised. You know how he works sometimes. I wouldn't be surprised if he maybe potentially throws in a Reed Blankenship, like that. I mean, I don't think I definitely don't think he's an untouchable at all. So I think that you could see him maybe throw it in. Maybe they'll bring. I think Jack said that Isaiah Rodgers is a free agent, so maybe they sign him back and then put him into a trade package as well. You know what I mean? I mean, you could take this from any angle. I think that they're just I think at this point they're just willing to take whatever they can get. And if you throw some picks in there, they'll take it, and that's fine. But I'm down for either of them. Give me Myles Garrett or give me Max Crosby. Give me a winner. Give me a guy that's going to kill you.
Yeah.
Jack, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, I think, we work in Bryce Huff. I mean, hasn't really done much this season, so maybe work him in a trade package with, I would hate to see him go, but if it's worth it, get rid of Reed Blankenship or Sidney Brown, because I don't really know what the Browns or Raiders need. I mean, they definitely need a quarterback, right? But we don't really have much one to give up other than maybe Kenny Pickett, maybe if we get rid of him and then just have Tanner McKee as our second. But I mean, you got to work something, and I think you'll see the next couple weeks there's going to be some movement along that line. We'll see Myles Garrett or Max Crosby in this team, so we'll see. Because I mean, this mix. I mean, I wouldn't mind this. I mean, granted, you can't really control, but like if Crosby came to Philadelphia and then Myles goes to Chicago, I mean, that may work. But like that, I would much rather have Crosby than Myles Garrett. That's just my opinion.
And they're not going to sit still, too. Like, that's the one thing I want to be clear about, that this team and the way that Howie Roseman operates, my favorite part about last night, as we're wrapping up here, just because I know we're getting close to the limit, but my favorite part was when they interviewed Saquon Barkley at the end of one of his interviews. He's like, yeah, I'm ready to do it all again. It's like, bro, the night isn't even over. Like, and he's that fucking locked in that he's already wanting next year and thinking that far into the future of, okay, how can I do this again? Like, that was cool.
Yeah.
How do I get that feeling back? Like, that's an adrenaline junkie right there. And I love that. I want the whole team to be like that.
I know, but I don't think it's just him. I think the entire team's like that. I think the entire team is feeling that same way. I think Jalen's feeling the same way. I mean, everybody right now, like, yeah, this is great. We love it. But what about next year? Right? Like, what about next year? Can we do it again? Will we go back to back? But I don't think Saquon Barkley's the only one that is feeling like this. I think it's the majority of the team that's like, yo, I'm ready for next year. We're trying to go back to back, and we're going to do whatever we can to go back to back.
Yeah, for sure.
I kind of feel bad, too, for anybody that might get shipped off. Like we mentioned, Reed maybe, or Sydney. They're all going to get their ring now. But the way that this team is built, it's a real brotherhood. It really is a band of brothers. And anybody that's not going to be here next year is going to be really, really upset. Because the way that this whole season went from start to finish, the way that the Super Bowl went from start to finish, everything. It was storybook. It still feels like I'm dreaming. It really does. I know for everybody it feels that way.
That's why GJ wanted to come back to Philadelphia. I mean, even though he badmouthed us on streaming or whatever, who cares? But he said he is meant to be in Philadelphia, and there's something special in Philadelphia. That's why he came back. So, I mean, I feel like not just the Eagles, but I don't even care about the Sixers, but I feel like mainly the Eagles and the Phillies, everyone who's traded to Philadelphia, whether it be on the Phillies or the Eagles, they love the team. They love the city. They love the brotherhood they have. They love the fan base. So, I mean, that just goes to show how much this fan base means to the players. And you don't really see that really in on any other team. I mean, the Raiders fans hate them. I mean, it just goes to show that there's something special in Philadelphia, and everyone wants a piece of it. So, I mean, it's storybook ending for sure.
And that's why people hate on us. They hate on us because they ate us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what it is, man. Everybody, nobody likes us. We don't care because we truly don't care. We're the best fan base in the world. See, last night, we just won a Super Bowl, and we partied like no other city would party if they won a Super Bowl. Nobody can party like Philadelphia. Nobody can be an A-plus organization like Philadelphia. Any of the teams besides the Sixers, but the three other ones, Flyers, Phillies, and Eagles, are A-plus class organizations. Yeah. And they hate us because they ain't us, and that's it.
One last thing, and then we can end the show. But one thing that resonated with me in the halftime show, it was average, but Kendrick Lamar's line, they not like us. They not like us. That's what resonated in my brain all last night watching this team win and belt to ass victory because they ain't like us. So I'm getting chills right now because no one is like Philadelphia. No one's like the Eagles. No one's like our fan base. And it is truly, we truly do bleed green. And that's why when we have these setbacks, we get so up in arms about it because we love this team so much. We love the city so much that we will do anything for them.
Absolutely. Right. And like, I mean, like Patrick Mahomes last night, the only other person in that stadium besides for Eagles fans that was happy was Tom Brady.
Yeah.
And I firmly
when
believe
does that happen?
Right. Tom Brady was ecstatic last night. Whether he showed it or not, he was ecstatic because the Eagles won. Because all week you have to hear, oh my God, Mahomes gets a 3-peat. He's better than Mahomes. Oh, well, even if he doesn't get it, he's already better than Brady. No, the fuck he's not. No, he's not. No, he's not. And no, he is not. Okay. And last night they went out there and they proved why Brady is still miles better than Mahomes is. They went out there, they pantsed Brady. They pantsed Mahomes. They spanked him around, and they showed him what a real defense is like. All year, Mahomes and the Chiefs have not faced a legitimate defense. All year they haven't faced one. And then they go out and they face a smash mouth physical defense that's going to wear you down, kill you, hurt you, and attack you for a whole 60 minutes of the game. And they have not seen that all year. And they got hurt. And they were in shambles. In the first quarter, they were in shambles. Did you see Chris Jones or whatever his name? He's on the ground on the sidelines with his head. They're in shambles. They were in shambles. They couldn't figure us out the whole night. Then the whole week we have to hear, oh, Spagnuolo's gonna torch the offense. Spagnuolo's smart. Spagnuolo's just a great. He got pants too. He got pants. He literally was. He was standing there, got his pants pulled down, and was spanked for 60 minutes. 60 minutes they pulled his pants down and spanked them. I never want to hear that Spagnuolo's this great defensive coordinator. And you know what? F Andy Reid too. All week after here, oh, Andy Reid, the best coach. Andy Reid's going to make Andy Reid didn't do shit. Well, shit yesterday. No, I mean, he didn't do anything. None of them did anything. All these guys, they hyped up Spagnuolo, Andy, Brady, freaking loser, Travis Kelce. And I mean, dude, the Chiefs were so bad last night, the broadcast crew couldn't even pan the Taylor Swift aside for once. Once they did it. That's how bad the Chiefs were last night. Everybody was pants last night, and it was great to see.
For sure. I mean, you said it well. That's a great way to end the show. Ryan, we appreciate you coming on the show. Go Birds.
Appreciate you guys having me, man. I really do.
Please let the people know where they can find you, too, on your way out of here, brother.
YouTube, I do full podcasts and live stream just like this with live call-ins, like WIP in the radio. And then I also got Instagram, TikTok, where I post clips and live reactions. Like last night, I was, had a great reaction to the Super Bowl win last night on Instagram. So please follow me. I would greatly appreciate that. I thank you guys for having me on here again.
Hey, man, we appreciate the help all season, and we appreciate the partnership of what the brand that you've built that's fantastic coming on here with us contributing. If we can ever do the same for you, let us know. I know myself and Jack, I'm sure, would be happy to do that. And we'll see you next season, man. Same place, same time,
hopefully.
All right?
2 in a row. Back to back.
2 in a row.
2 in a row.
Make it 3 for the total.
We'll
see you, brother.
we may be the first to the 3-peat.
That'd be crazy.
That'd be insane. That'd be insane. Oh, that'd be great.
We'll see you, Ryan.
See you, Ryan.
But before we wrap up on here, too, I just want to thank everybody from our community, 2302 Birds, that has came on here. This is actually our first time doing postseason, any regular season coverage, me and Jack. So it's been an absolute pleasure covering the Birds for all of you guys throughout the season, all 16 games. I want to thank Jack for his commitment. He was here at every post-game show, made sure that he was here, he was ready, and it's been honestly a storybook ending. You couldn't pay me to do this. Like, you couldn't pay me enough money. It's just one of those things that I genuinely love doing. Love doing it with you. Love the brand that we've built. And Same place, same time next year.
Yeah.
Be sure to like, comment, subscribe too. Take it away, Jack.
Yeah, I just wanted to thank everyone who has been on this grind with us for the past 20 weeks, call it. We hit a lot of milestones on Instagram. We've done on TikTok, so we really do appreciate you guys being there for us. We love doing this, and we wouldn't change it at all. So, without that being said, this is the final sign out of this 2024-2025 seasons with the fucking Philadelphia Relentless Eagles winning the Super Bowl belt to ass fashion against the Chiefs last night. Without further ado, hey Josh, let's go Birds. And this is an outro, not an intro. Hit that motherfucking outro.
This is for you.
Hey, what's up, 302 Birds? I'm Jack.
All roads lead through the playoffs in Philly.